The Comedy Grinder. Streaming live worldwide from the First Church of Cannabis. Tonight, Rochelle Renee, Lindsay Curran, Eddie Brown, Jimmy Roberson, Gary Goebel. Tonight's episode, hashtag
Trump stole my boyfriend.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the First Church of Cannabis. We'd like to remind you at this time to please turn off or at least mute your cell phones and direct your attention to the stage. Speaking of the stage, we're going to just roll things right in. Haha, pun intended. And we're going to bring Rochelle Renee to the stage. Everybody put your hands together for Rochelle.
Happy Friday, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So, I suffer from a syndrome that is common amongst people who originate from like rural areas. It's called GCS, Gay Child Syndrome. It's when you are by far the most successful of your siblings and your parents still refuse to acknowledge you to the neighbors. Oh, I'm just kidding. My dad was pretty good with it when I came out. He was like, I don't care if you're gay, just don't flaunt it. So I made sure to shave my head, get a tribal band tattoo, and I started wearing plaid to Christmas. That showed him. You know, but honestly, the worst part about being a lesbian is how often I get confused for a hipster. Yeah, we invented the plaid and self-loathing. Get the fuck out of here, hipsters. Melissa Etheridge made an entire career out of wearing plaid and standing outside someone's window. Yeah, she did. But honestly, the most awkward part about being a lesbian is how often I get asked how I have sex, especially by men. Not really sure what that's about other than maybe they don't know how that whole area works. So I've created a diagram to help men figure out how this area works. And I've come up with an analogy that I think men will appreciate. I want you to think of the female anatomy as a football team. All right, gentlemen? You've got the clit, which is the quarterback. I know you think your penis is the quarterback, but it's not. It's the clit. It's like Jay Cutler, but good. It's like Tim Tebow, only a professional. It can call the plays, can run in its own score, touchdown, whatever those things are called. I don't really know much about football. Then you've got your vag hole. I want you to think of that as the wide receiver. Self-explanatory. The big thing is that the quarterback and the wide receiver need to work together. They need to communicate for the common goal. Next, you've got your lava lips, which is part of the offensive line with the titties. They get the quarterback and the wide receiver ready for action. Don't underestimate the importance of an offensive line. Then you've got the Houston we have a problem area. I like to call that the tight end. And it is kind of a problem, because if you're a lesbian and you're going at it with a girl and she starts to go down there, what's going on? Because that area is reserved for gay men and whores. Last but certainly not least, you've got the squirter. I want you to think of that as the coach. Lets you know you're doing well. Any questions? Nice little diagram. I'm a teacher, by the way. I've got diagram drawing skills. It's the fourth one I had to make. The last one got wet. Yeah, shame. So, speaking of my dad, I've seen Kid Rock 3 times, none of which I paid for. But the last one was my favorite memory with my father. He called me up one Saturday morning. I was still a little hungover. And he said, "Hey, I've got an extra ticket to Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow. Do you want to come with us?" Hold on. I might still be drunk. But I think I just heard you say you were going to see Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow. Is that correct? He's like, "Yeah, you want to come along?" "Dad, have you ever heard a Kid Rock song?" "Well, yeah, I bought his last album. It's real mellow, real country." Because he was on Xanax when he wrote it. But I'm like, yeah, I'm totally in for that shit show. I can't wait. So later that night, I'm at dinner with him and his buddies, and I'm clearly out of place. Like, my father is very logical, very, like, matter of fact, by the book. Everything that I'm not, and everything that Kid Rock is not. So I'm still trying to figure this out. And I decided just to be an asshole. So I look at all these, like, self-made businessmen who have houses like I'll never even see that paycheck. And I'm like, "So which one of you brought the doobie?" And they all kind of look at me, and my dad chuckles. He's like, "I don't think it's going to be that kind of show." "Really? What makes you say that?" He's like, "Well, I think it's just going to be a bunch of people my age." And I'm thinking at this point, I've seen Kid Rock twice in concert, and both times he's had like strippers in cages, and if all you smelled was marijuana, it was a good night. So we finished dinner, and before we even got in the gate, I got to say, "I told you so." We, and by we I mean they, were by far the classiest people in the entire vicinity, including the talent. Everyone else looked like they just rolled out of their double wide, put on some pajamas, brushed their mullet, maybe not, with their dog brush. But it was great. So I obviously did not bring anything with me, because what's more embarrassing than being at a Kid Rock concert but getting caught at a Kid Rock concert with your dad with weed? But I noticed the group next to us was like a young group of people, and I kind of like started nudging my way in, kind of made some eye contact, saw what they had going, and I kind of sneaked my way in there. And right as it's getting past me, I feel this creepy nudge on my shoulder. "Got any more for Daddy-O?" Get the fuck out of here! No, I don't! Not proper etiquette. I love the man, but he's clueless sometimes. Oh, speaking of clueless things, I just recently rescued a dog. For the first time, I rescued a dog from Animal Care and Control. Really, I'm just trying to up my lesbian level to Grandmaster. Last thing I have is to make a canoe in my living room. I'll be good to go. And he's cute, but he's kind of a dick. Like, he's already eaten a pair of my underwear. He's eaten my blueberry pancakes. And I'm pretty sure he ate a bag of weed that suddenly just went missing. But it was like the first Saturday night that I had him. I'd had him for like a couple of days, and my girlfriend and I were trying to be intimate, and I thought that I'd closed the door enough. All of a sudden, I look up, and there's a head above the mattress, and this tail just wagging like, "What's going on, guys? What are you doing? You need help? How's it going? What are you doing?" What do you do at that point? I mean, do you keep going? I don't want to kill the mood and stop, but I'm kind of only comfortable with my Uncle Jerry watching me have sex. Or do I keep going and never again live up to the expectations my girlfriend will suddenly have for my tongue? It was a 50-50 shot, so I just kept going. We got any former Hoosiers in the house tonight? Any IU people? No? I went to college, I was the only one. Typical in a room full of comics. Just kidding. But I did go, I love Bloomington. It's where I first discovered myself. And by discovered, I mean that's when I decided to become gay. I was from a town that was like small enough to fit inside Bristol Palin's vagina. So I didn't know there were options till I got down there. My old roommate still likes to tease me about it. She's like, hey, remember when you thought you were straight? I'm like, do you remember when you thought you were a gender studies major? Now all you're doing is proving you can turn a whore into a housewife. Yeah. We did get some sad news in the Hoosier community lately. Did you see who Bobby Knight is endorsing for president? Yeah, Donald Trump. Donald Trump. You know, here's the thing. I could turn my head when the whole like chair throwing choking incident went down. I mean, shit, I teach 6th grade. I've been known to throw a desk or two. You know what I'm saying? It happens. But to endorse Trump, that's the straw that broke my camel's toe. Yeah. At least we got rid of Mike Pence, though. What a douche nozzle that guy was, right? Am I right? Yeah. He kind of reminds me of a joke that I wrote while I was driving through Kansas one time. Anyone ever been through Kansas? Anyone? Yeah. If you haven't, save yourself the trouble and don't go. I mean, I don't know why Dorothy was so excited to get back. Waiting to get out of Kansas was like Tyga waiting on Kylie Jenner to turn 18. Took forever, especially after she turned 16. But anyway, you know, it was really boring driving through there, and I had to entertain myself. So the first thing I did was I made up a new drinking game while I was driving through. Every time I'd see an abandoned meth lab, I would take a shot. Lasted halfway through Topeka. But the other thing I did was write a couple jokes because it was pretty easy. I mean, it's Kansas. You got nothing else to do. And I wrote one that kind of reminds me of Mike Pence, and this is during the time he was signing in the law that restricted everything with a woman's body. But here's how the joke goes. Let me know what you think. What is the #1 cause of infant death in Kansas? Coat hangers. Oh, yeah. Joke was on me, though, when I got back and he had signed that into law. Yeah, you could call that karma. So I'm originally from a small town. It's the city equivalent to Mike Pence's dick. Small and oppressive towards women. And they're not necessarily the brightest bulbs in the tanning bed. Let me give you an example. My sister, who is a year younger than me, so she's like, by all means, an adult, right? Closing in on 30. It took her 7 months to figure out she was pregnant. 7 months. I'm like, bitch, I'm a lesbian and I can figure that out quicker. Took her 3 years to figure out it was our cousins. I'm just kidding. It's not our cousins. Turns out the sperm donor is a one-night stand who is now serving time for meth. Poor baby's already 2 and has a higher IQ than both her parents combined. #America. So needless to say, I had to get out of that small town. Wasn't exactly my dating scene. I wasn't attracted to any of my cousins. Speaking of dating, though, my girlfriend and I just recently celebrated a year, like, I don't know, 6 months ago or something like that. But it was recent enough. Recent enough. Thank you. Thank you. I really have my former roommate, to thank. He made dating seem so unappealing I had no other choice but to get into a relationship. Dude's 40, goes out to Broad Ripple 3 nights out of the week, listens to EDM, and can't figure out why he can't find his future ex-wife. I've got an idea, bro. Let me just say, this dude brings home more broken hose than an Irish potato farmer. I'm gonna leave you with one last thought, though. Recently, I don't know if you've seen this, NASA has discovered over 3,000 exoplanets within our galaxy that can sustain life. What I want to know is why we can't find a life on this planet to write a decent Rihanna song anymore. Don't get me wrong, I loved Riri, that whole S&M Teeth album bit. But Durr, 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 Durr. It took 20 people to come up with that song, and that's your level of creativity nowadays, is Durr, 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 Durr. Someone tried telling me, well, Rochelle, it's a famous saying down in Barbados. To which I reply, that's why they're not a world power yet. Thanks, guys. It's been a great night. I'm Rochelle Renee.
Keep it going for Rochelle Renee. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue on rolling right along. At some point tonight, you guys are actually going to get that. And we're going to bring Lindsay Curran to the stage. Oh, she's already there.
I'm there. I'm here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lindsay Curran.
I'm always a little early. I drink booze instead of smoke pot, so it makes me quicker to the draw. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm excited to be here. I've never been at a church and did comedy before. I say fuck a lot, so it might not go well. It's okay. Rochelle talked a lot about being a lesbian. I'm going to share with you a lot about being divorced and the mom of a toddler. So just a bunch of happy shit that we're going to talk about tonight. For years people thought I was a lesbian. My parents actually had that conversation with me. Sophomore year of college, they sat me down trying to be very liberal, and they're very conservative Hoosier hearts. And they said, Lindsay, we'll love you even if you're a lesbian. I go, well, what makes you think that? And they go, you cut your hair and you have really serious glasses. Because that's like the recipe for lesbianism, I guess. Okay, whatever. So recently I found out I have a best girlfriend. Her name's Gloria. I call her my girlfriend. Apparently that weirds people out. I don't know. Like, she's my friend and she's a girl, so I'm not sure how to refer to her. But her family came up to me a year ago. She got married, and her family came up to me at the wedding, and they're like, oh my God, we're so excited that Gloria's getting married. I go, really? Why? Well, we were pretty sure you guys were lesbians. I go, it's the glasses, isn't it? And they go, yeah, both of you have them. Like, it's weird. So I got to looking at pictures of Gloria and I, because when somebody gets married, you kind of go through all those pictures and, the memories and shit, right? That's what you do. So I was pulling out pictures of us together, and like every 4th of July for the last 5 years, we're wearing matching Old Navy flag t-shirts. Like fucking really? Like that was hot? Like, I was trying to get men in an Old Navy flag t-shirt. I mean, no wonder I didn't get married till I was 34. Hello. Do you have a flag t-shirt or no? Rochelle, just asking. A couple? 3. I only had 1. Fuck. That's where we went wrong. Other things are funny, though, when you get divorced. Like, you really take a good look at your life and you try to realize, like what it is that you're all about as a person, which sucks. Has anybody ever done that in the room? Just try to figure out, like, who the fuck you are? Like, it was like, God, this is terrible. So I looked in the mirror, like, post-divorce, and I was like, God, I'm looking old. So I decided I would, like, start working out. I really hate working out, but I go. And I go to Live Right. Is anybody familiar with that gym? It's a very Christian organization. Lots of very godly people go there. They like to pray for you while you're working out, which is confusing because I say fuck a lot, right? So I'm like cussing and hating all of them, and they're like saying, Lindsay, God has you. He has you. God has me wet and sweaty and pissed off. That's how God has me. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm sad that I'm here. They were like, well, what other choice do you have? Where would you be? And I was like, I'd be eating a large pizza in my bed watching sad movies like a normal heterosexual woman. Live Right it's an interesting experience. I still go. I'm not going to miss out on it because I just feel like it's appropriate. But when you start working on yourself, you decide, okay, let's go ahead and start dating. Anybody dating in the room? No one, just me? I'm lonely and loserish? Fine. So I got on Tinder. Anybody familiar with Tinder? Okay, well, that's some shit. Like, that's what? Okay. So really, there's several types of guys on Tinder. I'm just going to break it down for you. There's guys who like to have their pictures with, like, giant fish. Like, are they trying to say, I'm prepared for what you're bringing? I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. The second subtype of men I find on Tinder is the man who's in a group shot with a bunch of other men, but you're not really sure which man is the man that you're trying to swipe for. So what I say back is, if you're number 2, I'm down. 3, 4, and 5, I'm out. Number 1's a woman, so I'm confused. What I found on Tinder, though, is, we got a lot of subsets of men, but, people who like me are old men, like 55 and older. I don't know what that means exactly, except that they're maybe worried about my mental health. I don't know. And the second set is black men, which I get because they typically like larger white women. So I'm going for that right now. That's like, so every black man, I just swipe yes. All of them. Doesn't matter. So recently I found one that I liked, a guy that I liked, which probably means that the world's going to end here in a couple days. Because if you know anything about Tinder, you don't really find anyone that you like. Like, that doesn't happen. And he, kind of seems normal. So that's weird. That's weird and interesting. So we had a date, and, I talked a little bit about being a lesbian, and I'll kind of backtrack on that a little bit. We went out on a date, and when he came to my house, my house is an apartment now, because that's what happens when you're sad and divorced. You move to an apartment. And I live in an apartment where a bunch of teenagers live, like college-age teenagers, which I didn't know when I moved in. Should have. Rent's about $600 a month. But I was just trying to save money, right? Just trying to save money. So when he comes to the apartment, I have 2 cats, a dog, a toddler. Again, he was probably concerned that I was a lesbian. It's probably really concerning for him. But he gets there, and there's a bunch of people just sitting out front, a bunch of college-age people, and they're just drinking booze and hanging out. And he's like, why do you live here? And I was like, oh, rent's cheap. And he's like, are you poor? First question he asked. And I go, no, I'm not. I'm actually a professor. I work for a university. I have a decent job. I'm just trying to save a little money. And he goes, oh, that's good. Do you shop at Aldi? Like, do these fucking things go together? Like, I go, yeah, I do. Is that a problem? And he's like, yeah, it kind of is. And I never saw that guy again, apparently. Apparently Aldi's like a big turnoff. Like, did you know? Did you know? Okay, well, I didn't know. But my freezer's full of some shit from Aldi's, and we got to eat all that shit up before we can move on. Other things happen when you're divorced. Like, you realize that I'm a single mom now, which is funny. Because my kid's kind of a dick sometimes. I can say that because he's mine. And anybody else in the room who has kids knows that your kid is a dick sometimes. It's just the way that it is. So recently I feel bad. I feel like I've ruined his life, because I have, basically, because I'm divorced. And if you read all the statistics on kids of divorce, it isn't pretty. It's just not pretty. So what I do all the time is try to make it up to him. So I do things with him that you normally wouldn't do. So has anybody ever heard of Monkey Joe's? Familiar with Monkey Joe's? It's like a fat person's hell, basically. It is a giant room, about triple the size of this room, filled with inflatables that you climb. So basically a whole bunch of shit that can pop under your weight. And my kid is, again, he's kind of a dick. I love him, but he's a dick. And he's can't do everything because he's only 2. So we're at Monkey Joe's, and all the smart moms are like on Wi-Fi drinking a beer because their kids are 5 and older. But I am climbing up a 5-story pirate ship in a dress with no underwear because I didn't realize that was happening. I didn't realize this was what this was about. So there's a little boy there. His name's Braden. Like, of course it is, because Braden's an asshole name, and this kid was an asshole. And Braden is being mean to my son, and I decide that I'm going to mess with Braden like he's messing with my kid. My kid's name's Wyatt, which is also a trendy asshole name, but it happened in a moment of pregnancy and delivery. You know, women who've had a baby understand that shit. It's just like, fine, just name him that. I don't fucking care. Whatever. So at Monkey Joe's, this little Braden's following Wyatt around, and he's kind of picking on him and making fun of him. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're too little. You can't do that. That shit is on. This little motherfucker doesn't know. I'm a mama bear. And I gave him the eyes. When you go like this with your eyes and this, to Braden, I gave him those eyes, and he knew what the fuck that meant. It meant back off of my kid. But Braden didn't, because he's a dick. So he proceeded just to go on, and I said, you know what? Okay. So Wyatt and I are climbing up the 5-story pirate ship, which I'm not even fucking kidding, like so high. And I'm so, you know, as a bigger person, you just kind of sweat just thinking about sweating. Like if you're thinking about working out, you start sweating, like if that, it just happens. So as we're climbing the 5-story pirate ship, I realized I'm like pushing Wyatt up. He's 40 pounds with my hand, right? And I'm climbing up, but like the space is this big, and I'm like this big. But what happens then is I realize it's like pushing a sausage through a casing, and I'm starting to sweat so bad that my glasses are fogging up, right? Like I can't see. I look like I've showered. Well, here's what happens. Braden's next to me climbing up the other side, and he looks over at me and he does this shit to me, which I deserved, right? And he goes, looks like you're getting tired, lady. You're kind of fat for this. Exactly. What a fucker, right? What a dick. I go, okay. He goes, I want to race your son down the slide. I go, well, you're going to win, buddy. You're bigger. But, you know, we can do that, but you're going to win. So we get up to the top of the slide, and I decide, like a good mom who knows she's ruined her son's life, I'm going to help him, right? I'm going to help him win. So I stand behind Wyatt, and with reckless abandon, I push him down as fast as I can. Fuck him, it's inflatable, he'll be fine, right? He'll be fine. So I push him down, and he wins, because I raise winners. And when we get to the bottom, Braden looks at me and he goes, you cheated. Wow. I said, you're right, I did, because you're a dick. Then I realized I was talking to this kid like I'm talking to you right now. Like I said fuck to him 22 times. And I realized like I'm in a room full of children. Like that dawns on me. So I say to Braden, like, where's your mom? And he goes, I don't know. She's probably playing Wi-Fi. I'm like, okay, sweet. I go, it's on, me and you. What do you want to do? I'll race you. He's like, done. Gives me the eyes. I give him the eyes. I don't even know where Wyatt is at this point. I'm just hoping they don't let him out the door. I just told him to fucking go for it. Just go crazy. So we go to like the 10-story high inflatable thing that's even smaller for me to walk up. And as we're going up, Braden goes, you have to pull yourself up with the rope. I'm not sure the rope can hold you. Whoa. Right? Fuck that kid. So I said, you know what? I got this. But as I keep going up further and further, I realize how out of my league I am right now because I can't breathe. I can't breathe, I'm pissed, I'm angry, I'm sweaty. But I get to the top and I say to Braden, now remind me where your mom is. And he goes, why do you need to know where my mom is? Because I go, I'm about to talk some mad shit to you, Braden. And he laughs. And I go, no, I'm not kidding. I go, I'm sick of fucking with you. Like, you have been on my nerves all day. And then he calls me a bitch at Monkey Joe's, which is fantastic, fucking fantastic. I loved it. And I said, you know what? I am kind of being a bitch, but you're kind of a dick. So we get to the top, and I tell him, I'm like, listen, Braden, here's what's going to happen. Winner take all. This is it. Whoever wins, we have to leave the other one alone and walk away. So then I have to explain to him what winner take all means because he doesn't understand, because apparently 6-year-olds don't gamble, which I didn't know. In my family, we would have known that shit. I'm just going to tell you. So I say to him, that means that we're done. Like, this is the last, we're done. So he's like, I'm ready. So as we get up to the top, we start going, and I realize I'm not going to win, right? Like it dawns on me as we're going down that I'm losing. Like that dawns on me that that's happening. So I decide, fuck it. I'm all in. I take my legs and I throw them across where Braden's at, and I completely trip him up so there's no way he can make it all the way down. And I, like a really grown-up professional adult, say, that's what you get, motherfucker. But here's the fucking problem. At the bottom of the slide, who do you think was there? Mama. Braden's mom. Fuck. So I said, well, she goes, did you just cuss at my son? I said, yes, I did. I go, he's been really inappropriate. I'm kind of tired of him. And she said, well, I mean, that's a really big problem for me. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. Like, this is just what happens at Monkey Joe's. You got to throw down sometimes. I mean, that's what happens. And she said, I'd like to meet you out in the parking lot. I go, oh, are we going to exchange phone numbers for a play date? She did not laugh. I appreciate your laughter, but she did not laugh. She's like, well, I'm turning you into management, and you're not going to be allowed back here. Fucking great. Awesome. Ever again, she said. I said, do you feel like that's punishment? And she's like, I don't know. And I said, it isn't. I go, just think about it. Next time you're here and I'm not here, you won't have a goddamn thing to do. So we walk out to the parking lot, and she says to me, I'm going to kick your ass. I said, listen, lady, we've got a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old here who already hate each other, and you're going to kick my ass? I said, good luck to you. I go, you know what? I go to Live Right Gym, and I'm just going to say, I pray for you. And I got in my car and left. I'm Lindsay. That's my time.
Keep it going for Lindsay Curran. All right, here we go. We're just going to keep it going. And we are going to bring our next comedian to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Eddie Brown.
What's up, First Church O Cannabis? Yeah, right on. Cool, awesome. It's awesome that you guys are putting this on. I'm really excited to be here right now. All right, got the bullshit out of the way. Let's talk for like a second. All right, so I was driving over here trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about, listening to some of my recordings and stuff, and I realized that I'm a fat ass. I feel really bad about it. Like, I'm fat, you guys. And I was noticing because I was like trying to figure out what I was going to do, and like 90% of my recordings, like I'll be talking in the recording, and then it just ends with, all right, I'll pull around to the second window, or if we can help you. I'm like, damn, okay. I've been fat for a long time, you guys. By the way, the drive-thru, you guys ever go to the drive-thru? You do, definitely, everyone does. It's pandering, that's what I'm doing. Drive-thrus, you should just call it what it is. Just call it a drive-by. Because you're probably gonna die while you're doing it. Been fat for a long time. It's not easy being fat. People are always trying to give me like advice on how to lose weight, right? And those people are always skinny little bitches who've never had to lose any weight, right? They're always just like, Eddie, if you want to lose weight, you gotta put that fork down. You just gotta put that fork down, big fella. I'm like, bitch, none of the foods I eat involve a fork, okay? One. If I ever pick up a salad, I will put that shit on a bun and eat it like an American, because that's what I am. I guess the part about being big that I hate the most is that I can't ride roller coasters anymore. It really sucks. Thank you guys for feeling me on that. Yeah, I hate it, dude. I love roller coasters. I'm an adrenaline junkie, big adrenaline junkie, and I can't ride roller coasters. Well, like they let me try sometimes, and that's fun for them. Like the carny will just be like, oh shit. Well, come on, buddy, come on, you can try. Come on, get on in there. That's all right. And I get in, he's like trying to kick the door shut. Come on, buddy, come on, you gotta suck it in. All right, think thin, man, think thin. Click, 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 click. Shit. Bubba Ray, get over here, try this shit, all right? Try it out. It ain't working. It ain't working. I'm sorry, buddy. It ain't working. Ain't nothing we can do about it. I apologize. You got to go down the chicken line. I'm like, shit, chicken? That sounds good. No. Like, damn, man, I waited in line for 2 hours to ride the Cobra. That's all I wanted to do today. All I wanted to do today was ride the Cobra. Can I please just do that? Is there anything I can do at all? Anything at all I can do? He's like, well, I'll tell you what, buddy. There might be one thing you can do. See them stairs right over there? Just go on down them stairs, and then back up, and then back down, then back up, and try again in 3 months, big fella, you'll get there. That's hurtful, you guys. You would think that a guy that's working would handle himself with some degree of professionalism, right? I'm just kidding, he probably doesn't have a degree. Oh my gosh. So, there's like a big cat phenomenon going on right now, you guys. Like, everybody owns cats right now. I remember when cats used to be shitty, like shitty pets, like they still are, but like people have them now a lot. You can't say shit about cats. But I'm gonna, so just sit back and relax. Like cats, man, I get it, okay? Dogs are stupid, right? Dogs are stupid, and I understand that, all right? But cats are like, they're like every single gay dude in high school that like fucked with you, like messed up your day. You know, like messed with you, like a mean gay dude, right? Like cats, like my buddy's cat is just like this, right? He rolls up, he just like walks up, he's like, "Hey, what's up, Eddie? I see you're drinking some whiskey. That sounds good. Oh, see my paws? See them? They're pretty, right? They're pretty. I'm just gonna stick my paw in your drink. Oh, oops, look at that. Oh my gosh, I spilled it. Oh, well, clean it up, bitch. Like, fuck you, cat, all right? I just hate that there's like a double standard, you know? I hate that, like if you go to your friend's house and his dog attacks you, right? They're like, oh shit. Well, we gotta decide if Fido's gonna live another day or not. Shit. We might have to put him down. We might have to just end his life tomorrow. That might happen. But like if you go to your friend's house and they have a cat, and you're playing with the cat, and the cat scratches the shit out of you, they're just like, holy shit, what did you do? What did you do to the cat? Did you pull away while you were playing with him? You pulled away, didn't you? You know their claws are like hooks. They're like hooks. They grab in, and they get into your body, and they claw down. You gotta know what you're doing, okay? Like, it's just not my job to know that shit, all right? It's not my job at all. Which, like, I found out that there's like a correlation between, you guys are gonna hate me for this, I don't care. I just recently got attacked by a cat, so I feel like I should talk about this for a second. Like, I found that there's a correlation between people who like really, really love cats and people who are routinely abused in relationships. Yep, I said it, I don't care. Like I saw my friend came into work, this girl named Karen. I'm like, holy shit, Karen, what the hell's wrong with your face? She has scratches all over her face. She's like, oh, it's nothing. Whiskers attacked me again. And you know what? It was my fault. It wasn't him. It was, he's not that guy. He's not even that guy. It was completely my fault. I was supposed to give him dry food. I gave him wet food. I fucked up. It was me. I fucked up. I'll try not to do it in the future. I'm like, Karen, your cat is an asshole. Yeah, but he's my asshole. Okay? All right. That's, wow. Oh, gosh. So we had, this is Indianapolis, for people out in TV land who don't know. We got a couple of things that are really cool here. I'm lying, we got one thing. It's the Indianapolis 500. It's really awesome. So I read, I'm black, I don't know. But I had to do a show during the 500, right? And I was driving through Speedway, which is the city where it takes place in, the little area it takes place in, and I had no idea that the race was going on. And I'm just driving around, I'm seeing all these like checkered flags, and I see a big sign that says race tickets. And I was like, holy shit, guess I better click it. Thank you. I like the race. I got two friends that are really big fans of the race. One of them, my friend John, he's a big fan of the race. He's from Elkhart. He was so excited about it. He was talking about it. He's like, Eddie, man, you don't understand what this is for me, all right? I'm gonna get to go to the 500, all right? Look how awesome this is, okay? Look, it's gonna have the whole population of Elkhart, Indiana, and the whole population of Fort Wayne, Indiana. All those people, 400,000 people all in one place. Man, it's gonna be the bomb. Nothing weird about that? I got another friend. He loves the race too. He really is into NASCAR, for real. And he happens to be Middle Eastern. So he can't express himself the same way that John can, unfortunately. It kind of sucks, man. It sucks because of racism. He can't express himself because could you imagine? Eddie, the entire population of Elkhart, Indiana, plus the entire population of Fort Wayne, Indiana, 400,000 Americans in one place. It's going to be the bomb. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Drive your cars if you want to, but you hold on. Oh, gosh. Speaking of which, there's no racists in here, right? There's no racist people, human beings. We're not talking about the race. We're talking about racists. Right? Pence is gone. We're good? Okay. So racism is silly, you guys. Racism is so dumb. It'll cause you to blow things way out of proportion. It's even happened to me, right? I was chilling outside at a bus station one time, just chilling, right? And this old white lady walks up, this old Caucasian lady walks up to me, right? She's just like, feels good being out in the sun, doesn't it? I know, right? I was like, what, bitch? And I went off on this lady. I got kind of mad. I felt really stupid because she was trying to connect with me. She wanted to make human contact with a person that she's never interacted with before, and that wasn't the best choice, but that's the way she went, okay? And I should have just been nice to her. I should have just been nice. I felt so bad afterwards, especially after I got done robbing that lady. I felt horrible. All she was holding was a bucket of chicken. It was an opportunity I had to take. I was very hungry. I love going to places where there are like very few very few minorities. Like Indianapolis is kind of a melting pot, you know. But like you go places like northern Wisconsin, holy shit, they've never seen this right here, never. This whole thing, no. Like we go to the Green Bay Packers games, that's about as far as it goes. We were rolling through there one time, and people were just snapping off pictures like it was National Geographic. And oh my God, honey, look, hon, look. Oh, great gosh golly, hon. It's a Negro. Quick, put 2 fingers up. That's how they say hello. How are you, buddy? How's the rap game, huh? Good? Is it still hard out there for a pimp? That's what we hear, isn't it? All right, sweetheart. They don't like being looked directly in the eyes. Why don't we just get the hell out of here, okay? Come on, skedaddle. Come on there fast. Let's go. What else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, guys. Let's be real here, okay? Racism is declining, okay? Well, you know, until Trump wins. But now, for now, at least it was. But we thought, damn it, I'm confused. But racism is declining. It's on the decline in America, which is nice, you know, which is why I don't understand why I still have the race card, right? For those of you guys who don't know out there, that the race card is an imaginary card that was made up by like Al Sharpton and friends, kind of supposed to help alleviate some of the racism that goes on. And could you imagine if that was a real thing? Could you imagine, like, here, Tyrone, here's your little black baby, and here's his birth certificate, and here's his race card. You're gonna want to hold on to this. All right, this is good for the acquisition of up to 3 white women, or 10 fat white women. You're choosing. 1 acquittal, though. Only 1. We only do. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, gosh. Well, let's go into my personal life a little bit. You guys down with that? Just a little. So I'm bad with money, you guys. I'm really bad with money. Always have been. I don't think it's all my fault. It's kind of my dad's fault. He's kind of a religious nut and an idiot when it comes to money. Like, he thinks that those preachers on TV really have his best interest at heart. Like, for real, he really does. And I came up to him and I'm like, hey, Dad, you know, we should really talk about how I'm gonna pay for my education. You know, all my friends they're paying for their college, and like I don't have any. We've never talked about it. Well, son, you gotta stop being such a little bitch all your life, okay, son? Look, if you want to be successful, you need to let go, and you need to let God. And I'm like, Dad, that is not helping me. He's like, son, look at the preacher on TV. You see him? You see him? He said that if I send him $1,000, he'll send me back $10,000, son. Dad, I'm not following your logic here. I said 10,000, but the man's got a Bentley, son, a Bentley. Still not following you, Dad. What the hell are you talking about? So I ended up having to go through Sallie Mae. For those of you who don't know, that's a lending corporation with the same name as your grandma. But she's not your fucking grandma, is she? No, she's not. She's your evil corporate granny, Granny Mae. And Granny Mae, kind of like a Bond villain, don't you think? She just shows up when you're on the sidelines of life, don't have a way to pay for college. Eddie, Granny heard you were having some troubles paying for the college. I tell you what, Granny will help you pay for college. All you must do is sign right here. I don't know, Granny, that's my signature. You know, it's kind of important to me. It's just an e-signature, Eddie. That's not even a real thing. I made it up. You can't take a computer to court, Eddie. That doesn't happen, okay? Well, I just think that like you and me and my parents should all sit down so I can figure out what's going on all the way, you know what I mean? Oh, okay, I guess you could be the big pussy all your life. Or you could go to college. You know college, Eddie. You know, crack those books. Get those grades. Lose that virginity? Huh? She knew how to sell me. I bought it. I signed up for that shit, you guys, and I did not know what I was getting myself into. A couple months go down, right? I'm sitting in my dorm room, smoking all Granny's money away, you know what I'm saying? That's when I started getting those calls from numbers I had never, 502, what is that? Is that Texas? I'm gonna answer it. Hello? Eddie! Hey, Granny Mae, I was just about to call you, girl. Of course you were, Eddie, of course you were. Granny's just calling to check on her little urban achiever. And to let you know that this call may be recorded or monitored anytime. See, that's the difference between real Granny and corporate Granny, right? Like, real Granny loves you unconditionally. Granny Mae, or may not garnish your fucking wages. A couple years go by. Let me tell you something, guys. If you don't think that Sallie Mae sounds like a threatening name, try being 2 years behind on your shit. Yeah, it starts to feel a little bit like a hostage negotiation. Eddie, you're a hard man to get a hold of. Do you have Granny's $50,000? No, Granny, you are not gonna like this, but I thought I told you the first time, I'm literally never gonna pay that back. It's never gonna happen, ever. Oh, that is bad news, Eddie, that is very bad news. It's okay, it's okay. I have some news that you're not going to like very much either. Well, what's that? I have your credit. Show him. Granny, you bastard. Let me tell you something. You leave my credit alone! Your credit is fine. For now, Mr. Brown. But things can change. Things can definitely change, yeah? If you so much as lay a hand on my credit's head, I will. You what, Mr. Brown? Takes a bus from your parents' house to come and get me? That sounds like a big expensive trip for you, yeah? Yeah. I suggest you pay the money. Goodbye. Shit. Yeah, hello, Dad. Yeah, you still know that preacher with the Bentley? Because I need some help. Thanks a lot, you guys. I'm Eddie Brown. Have a nice night out.
All right, keep it going for Mr. Eddie Brown. We'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who's come out in attendance tonight to support the Comedy Grinder and the First Church of Cannabis. We'd also like to thank some of our sponsors, Indiana Talks Radio, Bud and Breakfast, Marion County Auto Auction, High on the Hill, and Tippy Hemp. We got just a little teeny bit more time here for the radio goes on commercial break. That's Indiana Talks Radio. And we're going to bring to you for just a moment Mr. Jerry Goebel.
You guys can go smoke, cause we're gonna kill some. Time for you get some commercials and pay some crap off. Go smoke a joint. Go burn a blunt. Go smoke a drug. Your parents are all fucked. Good night. Some enchanted evening, you will find no rubber. Hoosier Talks Radio thinks they're so smart. They don't even listen to my show. Come see me. Come see me. I'm available now because hashtag Trump stole my boyfriend. Trump stole my boyfriend. It's been so lonely since he left. I used to have the hashtag Mike Pence is my boyfriend, but you know, he's gone now. He's left me for the other man with the bad hair. The man wearing the orangutan skin from the original orangutan from Every Which Way But Loose. Donald Trump. He's wearing a cadaver of an orangutan on his head and he stole my man. Hashtag Trump stole my boyfriend. So I hope you enjoy your commercial break, Indiana Talks Radio. You can call me up sometime. Maybe I'll show you some pictures of, I don't know, lengthy files of Hillary Clinton. And I've still got 20 seconds? Wow. I wish I had Donald Trump's wife's writers right now. It would be amazing to be able to, 7 years ago, this distraction was made so you wouldn't listen to the WikiLeaks releases. Wah, wah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sativa Sanctuary at the First Church of Cannabis for the Comedy Grinder. So, we just came back from a smoke break, for those of you listening on the radio, and man, was that good. So, we're going to have some more fun, and we're going to bring our next comedian to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Jimmy Roberson.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Good to be here. All right. Well, guys, I just had a birthday last Thursday, and I'm well into my late 30s now. So I'm getting to that age where all my friends, they're starting to get married again. And yeah. And this time around, a lot of them are having these destination weddings. Are you guys familiar with what that is? A destination wedding? If you don't know what it is, I'll tell you. It's when the happy couple invites all their friends to spend, all their money and all their vacation time to be part of their stupid day. It's bullshit, is what it is. It's bullshit. If I have to have a passport to come to your wedding, you're an asshole. Yeah. Knock it off with the destination weddings. It's a little ridiculous. But I'm getting that age. They're all having kids again, too, which I've no kids. I don't think I'm ever going to. Because, well, for one, I don't think I'm ever going to have my shit together enough to have kids. And to be honest with you, getting my shit together, not really a goal. Not really a goal. So, I don't think I'm ever going to have them. But I found when I tell people that, though, that I'm never going to have kids, I get the same response a lot. People a lot of times will say, well, what are you gonna do when you get old? Who's gonna take care of you when you get old? You ever think about that? You ever think about who's gonna wipe your ass for you when you can't do that yourself anymore? And I'm like, well, wow, is that why you had your kids? Do they know? Have you told your son? Does your son know that you brought him into this world to wipe your ass? You should tell him. It's a terrible reason to have children. It's a really bad reason. But it's also way more selfish than not having children. So maybe get off my back about it. And maybe go have a talk with your kid, whatever his name is. Charmin, we'll call him Charmin. Could have a talk with Charmin and be like, hey kid, if you don't like your chores now, things are gonna get a lot worse for you when you get older. No kids for me. But like I said, my friends, they're all having them, which is fine. I actually like kids a lot, except for when people bring them places they shouldn't, like parties. Like they'll bring a baby to a party because they want to show everybody, but it's weird because the rest of us still like to drink and do drugs. So, but now there's babies, so that's weird. It's a different scene for me now at these parties. I used to know that I was too drunk when my friends wouldn't let me drive, but now I know I'm too drunk when they won't let me hold their baby. I'm like, but this is the only time I want to hold your baby. So, how are we going to do this? Because this is it. This is the only time. Because if I'm sober, that's terrifying to hold your baby. I don't want to do that. That's a lot of responsibility, A lot of things could happen. And because people tried to hand me like a brand new one before, you know, like a brand new baby, like a newborn, like a 2016 baby. I'm like, are you crazy? You just saw me drop my phone. I just dropped my phone, and your baby doesn't even have an OtterBox on. Your baby has no protective casing for falls at all, so no, I don't want to hold it. Plus, if I dropped it, you'd have to wait 2 years for a new one, because you don't even have insurance on it yet. It just came out. But, no. But, yeah. But, so yeah, I've never been married or had any kids, but I've made, I feel like I've made some big commitments before. Like I moved in with a girl once, that's a big deal, right? No? All right, I thought it was a big deal. Yeah, because there's a lot you got to get used to when you move in with somebody, you know? A lot you got to get used to. For example, I wasn't used to having somebody count how many beers I drink around the house, and then want to have little talks about it, you know, like little chats about the number of the beers. And sometimes she would get pretty fired up about it too. Like she would like come home, for lunch and wake me up, and she'd be like, Jimmy, wow, any idea how many empty beer cans are in the trash right now? I'm like, no, I don't. Oscar the Grouch. I got no idea how many cans are in the trash. You know why? Because I haven't been in the trash today. So I don't know what you're doing in there, but I think we should have one of your little talks about your dumpster diving. How about that? I think we should talk about that, because that's not healthy, and there's help available for that. I'll look into it for you. So I'm a helper, but she was good though. She was fine. The girl I dated before her though was not fine. She was not all right at all. She was a terrible, terrible human being. She was. But it's fine, because I know she's never going to forget about me, because I left her a little reminder of me. It's very irritating, reoccurring, never really going away reminder I left her. So, yeah. All right. What I did was I changed my contact information with the student loan collectors to her contact information. So she's going to be getting calls forever. Very irritating phone calls about my debt. And she's probably being harassed right now. And I like knowing that. So it's good. You guys thought I gave her herpes, though, didn't you? You guys thought I gave her herpes. I would love to have given her herpes, but I don't have it, so I couldn't pull it off. I wish I could have, because I'd like for her to have it, but I don't have it, so I couldn't give it to her. But if any of you have herpes, let me know. I'd like to introduce you to her, because she needs to get it. I'd like for her to have it. She deserves it. She probably has it by now, knowing her. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, actually, is that even a big deal anymore, herpes? Yeah? All right. Just personally, I would rather have herpes than my student loan debt. I would, because I guarantee they come up with a cure for herpes before I come up with $58,000. And they'll still let you buy a house with herpes. But I don't have a house. Not with my debt. So herpes is more manageable, is what I'm saying, than my debt. The important part of that joke I want everybody to remember is that part about where I don't have it. All right. I don't have it. I really don't. Oh, also, I'm not paying that money back. The student loan money, I'm not paying it back. I don't think I should have to. Really, I think I should be able to take my diploma back to the university and be like, I have a return. This didn't work. Yeah, it's broken. I don't know. I didn't break it. I did everything I was supposed to do, but it's not doing anything. So it's still got the ribbon on it and everything. You can just have it back and release the debt. And all right, but I don't think it works like that. So I don't know. Again, it doesn't matter. I'm not paying it back anyway, so it's fine. I'm not even making payments either, because there's other things to buy, every month. Well, like pot. Right now, can't even afford that amount of pot right now. And it sucks to be out. One thing that's annoying about being out, too, is a lot of people like to say that marijuana is not addictive. It's a popular thing to say, But I'm here to tell you, tiny bit addictive, guys. Let's be honest, it's a little addictive. I know for a fact that it is, too. You know how I know? Because I'm out. And I'd like to have some more. So I'm pretty sure I just proved it. That's a pretty scientific study I conducted. So yeah, I proved it. And I know, technically, those people are right to say that because there is no real chemical dependency like real drugs have. I'm not going to have a seizure from withdrawal or anything like that, or I'm not going to rob any of you people for pot money after the show. Nobody does that for this drug. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go home and scrape resin out of a pipe and smoke whatever's left of that shit. So, that's addict behavior, right? It's not a normal thing people do, I don't think. And I do it all the time, I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm you give me a paper clip and a lighter, I'm like a surgeon. I can make things happen. But I think I'm out of resin. So, that's where you guys come in. Why I'm here. No, I know. Nobody has any. It's fine. No, but that's the only drug I do, though, if that even counts as a drug. I don't even really do cocaine, guys. I don't. Somebody offered me that after a show one time, a long time ago. Offered me free cocaine, and I didn't do it. I said no, because I have high blood pressure. It's the only reason why. I said no. But I heard it's a bad idea to go out and do a bunch of blow when you have high blood pressure, so I didn't do it. But that was a long time ago, Since then, I've been exercising, been eating healthier, so blood pressure should be lower now, just in case. I don't know what you guys have on you, whatever you guys want to do. I should be all right. No, I didn't, and I actually didn't even realize why I made those healthy changes in my life until I was at the gym one day, and they asked me what my fitness goals were. And to think about it for a second, I was like, oh shit, I think I'm just here to try to get my heart healthy enough for some hard drugs. And they were like, no, are you training for something, like a half marathon, a 10K, a 5K? Nope. Just like to be able to do an 8-ball by summer and not die. That's my fitness plan. So just let me know how many steps I need to take on the treadmill, whatever. Anyway. But, no, but other drugs, those kind of drugs are dangerous, Like Tylenol, dangerous. You ever have a headache so bad you can't sleep? So you take so much Tylenol, your headache goes away, but now you're afraid to fall asleep. That's what I do. That's how I do it. I don't like pain, so I just take like a half a bottle. You know, sometimes I overdo it though. Sometimes I get a little worried. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I should leave like an I didn't commit suicide note, just in case, because I know this doesn't look good. But yeah, you gotta be careful with those, with real drugs, you know, like Tylenol. But I really have been trying to be a little healthier, you know, trying to be a little healthier, eat healthier. I even thought about like trying to eat more responsibly, you know, which is dumb. Don't do it. It doesn't make sense. But I had people telling me I should be eating just like free range animals, you know. People were like, hey, you should just eat free range chickens because they're treated way better than the factory farm chickens. And I was like, why is it better to eat the happy and free chicken? It's got like the whole range, right? He's got a range to frolic around, have a girlfriend maybe. Maybe they're saving for vacation. I don't know what their plans are. But I would imagine those free chickens are enjoying their lives a little more than the prisoner chickens who are trapped in those tiny cages. Those guys are like, for the love of God, somebody send the colonel. This is a terrible existence. So I think we've been eating the right ones all along, is my point. The cheaper ones. And if you're a vegetarian, you're probably thinking, well, if you're so concerned with the former home lives of these chickens, maybe you shouldn't eat any of them. And you're right, but they're delicious. And I don't have a whole lot of willpower, but I'm working on it. And if you're vegan, you're probably thinking about how you don't have any friends. It's because you're terrible to be around. It's pretty simple. But I don't know. Maybe that's harsh. I don't know. Sometimes maybe I think we're a little too hard on vegans because I'm not sure that it's all their fault, you know, their behavior. Because sometimes I think that there's something in super clean and healthy food that just makes you a dick. Like maybe it's the food that makes you a dick. Because have you tried it? Like I made it I did like a couple days, like a juice thing, you know? And I found myself, like day 2, I would drive out of my way to pass a McDonald's just so I could judge everybody in it. I'd be like, look at those animals with no self-control in there. But then I'd be like right back in the drive-through line days later, you know? But yeah, I made it like a whole week one time. And one of my friends was like, hey, have you noticed any differences, you know, since you've been eating like this? And I was like, well, I haven't noticed any weight loss or anything, but I do feel far superior to you and your family. So I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but yeah. Oh, and by the way, when I went back to the drive-thru, I'd never noticed that they say this before, or maybe they don't every time, but they said, welcome back to McDonald's at the drive-thru, as if they were talking shit to me. Like they knew I was off trying to better myself, and now they're talking shit that I'm back. Like they know, but oh well, they're good. They're great, McDonald's. But I don't know. Sometimes I have to eat. Well, I don't have to, but it's easy to just eat food like that because I've been traveling a lot. Actually, it's fun. I love doing this comedy because I get to travel a lot now, and it's a lot of fun. I get to meet I meet a lot of interesting people. I met a Satanist. That was cool. I didn't know this about Satanists. I don't know if you didn't know. Turns out Satanists don't believe in Satan. You know, it turns out they're just atheists who really want to be a dick about it. You can look it up. That's what they are. Which was very disappointing to me for some reason. I don't know. I thought that they should be scary. You know, I thought they'd be scarier. But this guy was not scary at all. This guy wasn't even wearing a cloak. He didn't have a snake with him or anything. He was just wearing jeans in a comedy club in Wichita. And I was, what? What do you mean you don't believe? He was like, no, we don't believe in fairy tales, man. We don't believe in any of that shit. We just don't like all of religion. We don't like religion's rules. We say do what thou wilt. You like drugs? We think that should be legal. We think you should have sex with whoever you want. We're pro-choice. I was like, well, aren't you just a spooky Democrat? What are you talking about, dude? That's like half the people. You said you were a Satanist. Get your shit together and go kill some cats. What are you doing? But I don't know. It's disappointing because all this time I thought I was just a pothead who believed in equal rights for everyone. Turns out I'm a Satanist, according to this guy. So it was a weird confrontation. But whatever. You know, maybe I am. I am left-handed. So maybe. Did you guys know that about lefty? Are there any left-handed people here? Doesn't matter. All right. Well, us lefties, we've come a long way. We really have. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you guys know this about lefties, but we didn't always have our own scissors. All right? It's been a struggle for all these rights. We didn't always have back in the 17th century, people believed that left-handed people were servants of the devil. And some of us were burned at the stake, like with the witches, like with, well, the people they thought were witches. Burned at the stake for being left-handed. When I read that, I couldn't help but wonder, like, how did we get caught by these Puritans for being left? Did they just catch us, like, writing or something? Were they just like, hey, look at that guy. He writes way different than me. I don't like it. I don't know what he's doing, but it looks like he's writing upside down is what it looks like. He's writing upside down, and who knows what else he likes upside down, you know? Probably crosses. Let's get him. And we were probably like, hey, calm down. I was just born this way. You know? It doesn't affect your life at all. I'm just going to use my left hand for the fork, all right? And the Puritans were probably like, no. Everybody knows being a left-handed demon is a choice. And they just catch us on fire. That's probably how it happened, right? That's how it happened. Anyway, I don't know. I think people just think that they're doing the right thing when they're not. I have a friend who was upset the other day. He was very upset because he was like, I saw a panhandler begging for money on the street using an iPhone. I was like, was it an iPhone like the one you used to set up your GoFundMe account? Or you do the exact same thing that he does? Except he at least is willing to go outside. You're way more annoying with your GoFundMe account than the street people. For one, your sign is way longer than theirs. Your sign, theirs is very, very simple. It just says, homeless, anything helps. Your sign is like, have you ever had a dream? Well, my dream is to own my own fucking pickle jarring company, whatever, but I need a new laptop in order to do that, and blah, continue reading. Nobody's clicking continue reading. First of all, you just want a new laptop. You don't want to have a business. You don't even own a pickle. You don't have a jar. You don't even have a cucumber and patience. You just want people to buy you a laptop. Also, the second reason you're more annoying is the street person who needs some help. They don't constantly show up reminding me how much money they still need to meet their goal. I see a lot of these, now there's a lot of GoFundMe accounts perfectly, there's a reason for them. Somebody's trying to do something artistic. They need some help. That's great. Sometimes your house or your kid burns down. You need, some emergency help, But anyway, again, it's all going, like people, want to help and whatever. I don't know. I just don't trust a lot of people. Like, especially these companies that ask, that say that if somebody's talking about great things they're doing with your money or whatever, they're probably not, Like even, there's a shoe company called Tom's. You guys familiar with Tom's Shoes? Well, if you're not, what it is, it's a shoe company, and they say that for every pair of shoes that they sell, they ship a free pair of the same shoes to a poor kid in a poor country somewhere. And I think that's really cool, as long as they do it, but has anybody ever followed up to see, like, if they actually sent that free pair of shoes to the kid? Because those shoes have been around a while now. They've been very popular. They've sold a lot of those shoes. So technically, there should be just villages full of starving children, right, who have these hip Tom's shoes on. And I haven't seen any, guys. And I look every time. Every time I see those commercials, you've seen them, just with the kids that need the money. We feel terrible for those kids because they got the flies in the face and all that. Those kids never have Toms on. They don't have any shoes at all on, and that they would wear their best stuff for TV. So I'm just saying I don't think that they send those shoes to those kids, but maybe they do. I don't really know. Let's say they do. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. All right. What happens if I buy a pair of the shoes? All right. They ship the free pair to the kid, and then I return mine. How do they handle that one? Does Tom go track the kid down and take shoes away from a child? Does he just show up in, I don't know, Zimbabwe or some shit? He just shows up and he's like, hey, sorry, Babatunde, but we're going to need those shoes back, fella. They said they wanted something with a little more arch support, something they could wear to the gym. So, what's a gym? Well, Baba, in America, we have like a lot of food, and we just eat it all day. Like it's around every corner, so we just run around all day, throw it in our face, because it's so plentiful. You should see it. It's really something. So we do that, and then we have to pay. We pay more money to go to the gym, so that we can just walk in place on a treadmill. Which we're not walking to fetch water for the family like. You should have been doing it. But leave the shoes here, though. Those are ours. And I know the rocks are hot, but sorry. Anyway, no, that's not why we go to the gym and get on the treadmill. We're just trying to burn some calories so we can eat some more of that awesome food we have so much of, and maybe do some cocaine. So yeah, there are shoes, Baba. That's the point. We're taking them back. So that would be the return policy, I guess, you know, if they sent the shoes, but I don't think they do. Somebody told me they have the same program with eyeglasses, which, again, that's fantastic. Until somebody returns those, you know, because now you're kind of being a dick, because now Tom's got to go back and now take eyesight away from a kid who just had it long enough to see that he had no food. And he's got to go back and be like, well, Baba, not your day, buddy, but lights out again for you, fella, because somebody found those same frames at Costco for half the price. So we're gonna need those back. But don't you worry. We'll do something for you, pal. Maybe we'll find you like a seeing eye lion to get you around these parts. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. That's my time, and thank you guys very much.
All right, keep it going for Mr. Jimmy Roberson. Yeah, we are going to keep things rolling right along here at the First Church of Cannabis. We're going to bring Mr. Jerry Goebel to the stage.
Yay.
Trump stole your boyfriend. Trump stole your boyfriend.
Fucking Monkey Joe's kids. Trump stole my boyfriend. Okay. I miss him. I don't know. Levity. I don't know. I feel like a negative energy here. He's gone. It's a trust issue now. He's gone. I mean, at first it was hashtag Mike Pence is my boyfriend. And it was good for a while. He used to call me his Pooh Bear, you know, because there was always shit on my dick. And push it real good. And, you know, he did a cute little name for his wang, Wiki, because it leaked. And wears men's Depends diaper size XL. It's not that he needs them that big, he just needs them that deep. I miss him. Hashtag Mike Pence is my boyfriend is now hashtag Trump stole my boyfriend. And what will I do without my poor man? And if I stalk him, it's in Washington. It's a long way to go. I used to be able to just walk down the street and show him my inflatable penis, but no. I was on the road gone with that fucking orangutan hair-wearing motherfucker. He'll quit. Trump's gonna quit. And then we skip right to the Reagan years. I called that 2 weeks ago, actually. Actually, I called Mike Pence as a vice president candidate back in April. And I knew then the relationship was going to be in trouble. That's when I started hearing those voices, those mocking, laughing voices in my head. They would always remind me the end was near for Mike and my love. Push it real good.
Trump stole your boyfriend. Trump stole your boyfriend.
You know, those voices actually freelance for Hillary Clinton. She hears them every time she tries to overthrow a foreign government on behalf of another foreign government, Libya. And, I mean, gosh, deleted emails, but actually did the deed. Golly, let's worry about plagiarism. Yeah. Funny how that all works. And they just dropped the big old wiki dump. Right there. Categorized. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's pretty fucking cool. They've got a whole section for Hillary. And you just have to type in the crime and it's cross-referenced.
It's like, sweet, you don't have to read all 20,000 of them. Just, figure out what you know and look it up, and it's all right there for Hillary, the woman who's more of a man than Donald Trump. And she is, man, because she'll kill. You see the Osama bin Laden pictures the night they went in and smoked his ass imaginarily? They didn't really kill him. The dude works out in Burbank, Do you remember me? I was the bomber. Oh, yeah, shut up and push the broom, motherfucker. Jesus Christ, these crisis actors. Ooh, I was a star. Ooh, I masterminded 9/11. Just go back to work, okay, burner? Whatever. The WikiLeaks revealed, but burner, that's the wrong name. That's a Hillaryism slipping in. That's those voices again, poisoning my... Because there's a question in the WikiLeaks, which is really kind of interestingly funny from an awkward standpoint. Her campaign started to decide whether or not Bernie was enough of a Jew. Oh, okay, all right, we're gonna go there. Oh, that Donald Trump. But if the campaign gets down to crunch time, he's a Jew, but not much one of them. God, let's villainize. The script, the deep cover script. So there's Soros and the Rothschilds or Rothbildenbergers. Who's winning? It seems like this is all a setup, right? So, okay, initially I thought the whole thing was a setup because it was a sure thing. Trump is a bad guy because he's a wrestling villain. That's how this whole thing plays out. It's like wrestling. I don't know if you guys, he's got a wrestling background. If you watched any of the WWF in the day, that's all politics is right now because it's obviously not concerned about issues, right? So it's events and situations that happen, right? So you've got Trump, who's the shit-talking asshole who says what he wants and he didn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a shit because he doesn't really want to get elected anyway. This is about him being the bad guy in the play. Ooh, and then Hillary is going to be the progressive savior that's going to save everything. And then Bernie stuck his stupid ass in there and fucked this play up, right? Now questions are being asked and everything's starting to be looked into and the whole fucking play's starting to fall apart. But then they knew a year ago Pence was going to be running off with my boyfriend. They knew that. They knew he was leaving. The Lieutenant Governor Holcomb, he was going to just temporarily take over the job and go back to his 3 little counties, which he'd only have to go to 3 places to suck dick for money. And he didn't. He went to every county in the state and sucked all those dicks because his intention was never going back to where he was because he knew he was going to probably be running for governor or at least being attached long term in it. And they knew that a year ago. And now that Trump has got the dowry, that's the whole thing with Mike. They knew he was going in some capacity, $100 million, governor's board of directors. They got that's going to Trump. That's his dowry for taking my man. Taking my man and running away from. This is like 7 brides for 7 brothers or some shit. They ran off with my man. And then I got trouble for last week because the International Coalition of Comedians wrote me up again. Apparently the Smart Water bit was libelous and I can't use product placement, so I have to use a fucking blue Dixie cup. I can't just drink Smart Water. I have to pump it out of a jug like a fucking refugee and come, you know what I mean? Like I'm here in the fucking FEMA camp already. Run for your lives, it's happened already. And fucking bring on that whole fucking apocalypse now. Mike is gone. Hashtag Trump stole my boyfriend. If anybody else has had lots of imaginal casual sex with my boyfriend, you should post those things online so I could read them. I think I would like to know full disclosure because this is a trust issue for me. I think you should put them all out there because if he's, because maybe I've been the fool, the pie-eyed, let's save the world guy. But then I fall victim to his wily ways and his unusual pack movements. And I'm like, whoa, And next thing you know, one thing leads to another. And I'm compromised, totally compromised because Mike Pence is my boyfriend. And so, I remember how it all started. It was the 420 march, and I was pulling my big, giant, inflatable rubber dick down the cannabis parade. And I had his name written on it. And I said, anybody want this? Where can I stick this? Where can I? Really Bill Murray ended it up. And it was brilliant. I mean, funny sometimes. I don't usually admit it, but I'm kind of funny when I want to be. And, as long as my keepers will let me be. So I'm going down Main Street, and there was those 3 horse cops that pulled up, and I thought it was my ass, and that was just the escort for the Empire. And there he was, Mike, going, I got someplace you can put that. Swept me off my feet. Golly. And then he was like, oh, yeah, $100 million. I'll totally, we'll leave, and we'll do it together. And then he betrays me. Gives the money to a man he doesn't even love. It's like an Eagles song. It's not even cool. It's another tequila sunrise without my man, Mike Trump. Hashtag Mike Punch is my boyfriend. And trust, man, it's a hard commodity to come by. It's getting weird around here even for that matter. Like, okay, so these people who make bad choices sometimes like to lean on other people but still not take account to the fact that they've made really poor choices doing it, right? So you get to the point that you're under the bus and you need a little help. At a point, you gotta kind of say, I'm under the bus here. I need to kind of think about shit. But with a lot of people, it's not how they're approaching stuff when they need things. It's like almost, I don't know, are you being hustled again? Am I that much of a conspiracy theorist that did Jesus ever get to a point where he said the leper didn't have leprosy? You know what I mean? He's calling the guy, I don't know, man, your hand's up your sleeve. You're not really a leper. I'm trying to call you out. You're homeless. You drove 100 miles with no gas money or no friends, and suddenly you're here on the doorstep like a goddamn Jehovah's Witness having a crisis, and just kind of, do I feel bad? Well, yeah, I feel bad for you, but honestly, let's ask ourselves some questions about the whole story. Because that's my thing. I'm a conspiracy guy and a story guy, and if you're going to have a crisis, if you're not being honest, it'll play out really fucking fast. Because the details won't mix and the details won't match. And you're like, oh, well, I'm dropping location where I'm from because we're all friends from a certain place. Ha ha ha, it's an inside club. Can we come smoke here? Who the fuck does that? First out the door, out the mouth. Can we smoke here? Yeah, it's the First Church of Cannabis, but it's illegal, you fucking knucklehead. That's the one thing I was trying to bed Mike for. The freedom to smoke weed. So we could smoke here, but we can't smoke here, you dumb motherfuckers. It's just the way it fucking is, because it's illegal. But the first question out of your mouth, there's no, well, we're fucked up and Jesus, the world is screwing us, but the first thing I want is a bowl. And that's, came an awful long way. And it's like 2 or 3 times a week, You run a garage sale, you try to help some people out, you give people money. The guys on the corner, are they legit? I know somebody who's actually been homeless. Okay? Now, you see a guy on a corner, looks pretty good, and he's fairly well shaven, he's all put together, holding the sign. Is this just so he can go down and drink at the trap? You know what I mean? You been to the mouse trap? All those guys fucking work corners, man. Look at them. They're fucking, they're sticky, they're tarry. You roll them on the floor. That's how they get the dreads. I love the mouse trap. But I'm not gonna make no bones about the room. The room is what it is. It's the mouse trap. You just take it as it is. But that's what you're looking at. And again, it's trust issues. We're in the middle of an election cycle. We don't even know who's working for the man. Is there a man working behind the scenes? Oh, if Hillary wins, and we keep away from Trump, who's a baboon who's fucking my boyfriend. Or we get, but what happens when she's there? She likes overthrowing governments. She's down with the CIA, man. I'm sorry, my deal breaker is, if the CIA says it's okay to do something, you better question your value set real fucking quick. These guys have been fucking overthrowing governments, murdering people. If you go through the Cold War shit alone, most of you kids don't remember none of that shit. Go back and look at what the CIA's been doing since then. And they still do it. Now they're just getting stupid. They're not very bright about it. They're forgetting shit. They don't know how to deal with the internet. That's why the shit's all starting to leak out. Who's really running the fucking game here? Who's the trust issue here? Mike said he loved me and now he's gone. So I don't know, man. It just seems like there's more questions upon questions upon questions. And the whole point seems to be, a lot of it is arguing amongst ourselves while people fucking rob us blind. And it all's going to come down to money. Let's make no fucking mistake about that. What is power? Where is the gold? Where is the gold at Fort Knox that they still, I don't know, did they ever do that audit? Did they kill that again? Fractional currency banking system decides that Libya's got to go because they want to do their own banking system and we're invading and it only helps France for the most part. Who do you trust? She's the alternate ego to Trump. The play was set in an ideal movie atmosphere when you only have two characters. It's a basic choice, one or other, but they're both bad. I have questions about most of them now. Bernie, I'm wondering, he's playing politics and doing that. Yeah, that's great. Well, if he steps in, there's a little bit of relief, but then I still have to question the whole thing about who's really running shit here. Because it had to be orchestrated by somebody. If there was rigged election fraud across the board, there's somebody pulling the fucking trigger. Roger Ailes is getting kicked out of Fox News. Whoops, sex harassment at Fox News? Oh, really? They dress those women like they're from the fucking 1950s. I'm surprised they don't call them babe and tell them to get coffee while the shows are running. Those fucking guys are living in Mad Men. They're not real. Fucking, really? This is the middle America that Fox News presents? Ailes is gone. What's going on there? Murdoch's in charge. The guy that runs the place is a Saudi prince who owns Fox News. Oh my God. Oh my God. A Saudi prince owns the biggest, most bullying, flag-waving fucking organization in the country. And nobody ever fucking had a problem with that. I've always kind of laughed about that. Ever since 9/11, we were looking at towel heads or whatever from scary guys overseas. Now the new scary ISIS action figures. Oh, great. I understand G.I. Joe, the comic, better now. Because that's what it was. Cobra equal ISIS. It's a band of roving terrorists with advanced weapons technology they conveniently got from us. Oh, Jesus. Did we just lose another shipment of really expensive weapons to the rebels again? Wah, wah. Oh, golly. Script. That's not in the script. Wait a minute. Then we were supposed to find out about that. Oh, that's right. Because people are fucking watching for you now. We have cell phone capabilities. We have our own drones. How do you like them fucking apples? But you got to register them so they know where you're at. Yeah, that'd be the first thing I'd be worried about. Guys flying their drones over your house looking for a piece of ass with that drone, because let's face it, when you've really gone totally downhill for your porn choices, that's the next virtual reality you will ever have. Parking your drone out of a person's window and rubbing one out in a distance. That is the future. I predict it'll happen next week. I say these things and then they happen. I told you they'd start shooting at Pokemon tournaments, and they already got a couple guys who were going to go shoot up a Pokemon tournament. My thing is, when's the terrorist attack going to be at a Pokemon Go thing, right? So, except it's all landmines, right? So you go up to a Pokemon location, and the room's just mined. They've already had to put that at, it was at somewhere in the Soviet Union. They have areas that still have mines from all their numerous wars with imaginary enemies. Their mines are everywhere, and they have to tell people to stay out of these areas for catching their Pokemon because the area is full of mines. No shit. People are walking off of cliffs. There's people finding dead bodies. I think it would be hilarious if there was a serial killer out there that was doing it all. Like a really serious Dexter, but he loves Pokemon. Slash attack, slash attack, slash attack. Right, okay. All right. Generic cup of water. Without the fluoride, so that's probably why I'm not so happy. It's the active ingredient in Prozac. So your teeth look good, you smile more, and you... Hello, America. You know, I was wondering about Duck Dynasty the other day. Fucking saddest country in the fucking world, man. Everybody's scared of us now. You know, our TV really's gone to shit. Let's face it, reality TV's been bad. Yeah. I'm still waiting for the Casey Anthony Honey Boo Boo matchup. I want to see that. Call it Trunks and Tiaras. It's basically going to be the whole episode will be Casey Anthony running around with a thing of duct tape going, come on, I'll make you a suit. And he's like, yeah, I want to get a trunk. And he's like, I got go-go juice in the trunk. And like, yeah, I want to get it in. And he gets a little ass in the trunk and it's a happy ending. And, I don't know. It's pretty awful, though. The Kardashians. It's just horrible plasticky people now. That's the best part about the technology. You know, you're really starting to see through all that surgery and the duck lip shit. And you're like, oh my God, the lizard people were real. No, they weren't lizard people. They just had bad plastic surgery. There was no secret Illuminati of lizard people. This is all people from California who really digs plastic surgery. Have you seen the Catwoman chick? That's amazing. that you would at some point go, you know what, I need to keep doing this. You know, I'd be my nose is a little fucked up. I'd lose my nose. I look like the crypt keeper. But you know what? My cheekbones don't look high enough. You know, I need to look like the Lord of the Undead. I need some cheek implants. You know, I don't have enough going for me where I don't know. You see these guys that they do the body piercings and they turn themselves into like lizard people. And you go, at what point, you know, I mean, I appreciate the fact that you want to do it, but I guess the question is, on a practical level, what the fuck? You know what I mean? You got lizard studs, now you got to wear, your headgear's different. You got steel studs in your hat and you look like the guy from, you know, Darth Maul. You look like Darth Maul. Headgear, ski masks, have you even thought this through? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I know you can hang ornaments on it. That's great. There was a scary guy who escaped from jail right about the time the Dallas thing happened. And he was a white supremacist who cut his ankle bracelet off and was leaving, and he was a scary looking fucking guy. He had those implant eye things, so they were black, so it didn't look like he had any pupil. He had studs along his forehead. It was just scary. And he had fuck cops tattooed on his forehead, no shit, which is kind of a ballsy move, I would say. You know, could have just got another stud there, but no, I thought I'd fuck the police right there, so I know when they're beating my ass, you know, he's this scary white supremacist guy that escaped, and they just caught him again. I'm like, how the fuck did nobody notice this guy? You know, how much of a blending environment is there? Is there a whole environment of people doing this on a level that nobody notices a dude? That's pretty fucking crazy. I mean, that's almost like, I don't know, maybe like the Pulse nightclub shooting and trying to figure out who's a Puerto Rican and who's from the Middle East. That was a cop shooting. I called that. Shooting didn't happen until 5:30 in the morning, but they said it was done at 2, and the stories don't match up. And some of the cam footage shows an empty front room. So the question becomes, was Omar Mateen by himself, or was this a police shooting gone bad? Questions. Who do you trust? Hey, enjoy your week. 25th, it's the big day. It's the big day. If you need to learn how to pump water, come downstairs. We're ready to bunker down, and we've got lima beans, so. Love you guys. That's my time. Good night. And we do have mung beans as well. If you're down for trying a mung bean, I don't know what a mung bean is, but we got a case of it, so you're more than welcome to try. Thank you guys for coming out.